on a journey of self-discovery. Ladies and gentlemen of Mystic Lake and the world, walk with me in lockstep into a better and brighter tomorrow. For here, under this blue umbrella sky, we await the swinging sword of justice, wielded by God herself to behead the weak and to raise up the pure of heart. This is the Great Midwest Rib Fest World Rib Eating Championship. Now is the hour when glory calls, and only the bravest are left standing to answer. I will be joined on this stage by 10 brave sons and daughters, born of 10 proud mothers. And they will fight! They will fight! Until but one remains standing, the champion of the world! Right here, in this sanctum sanctorum of salivation, this Mount Sinai of mastication, this Colosseum of competitive eating. So it is written, and so it shall be. Let the contest begin! Our first contestant here today is officially unretired. A former top-ranked Major League eater, he returns to the table after a 13-year absence with a dream to go teeth to jowl against the best in the world and leave the arena victorious in the greatest sporting upset in the history of mankind. In doing so, finally earning the respect of his father and the love of a woman named Sarah Callahan in accounts. Will his dream come true? No, it will not. But he knows it's better to eat free ribs on your feet than to live on your knees. From Richville, Minnesota, the great Jonathan Buster! Ladies and gentlemen, vengeance has a name, and it turns out that name is Seth. Who knew? His jaw is as strong as truth, his teeth are sharpened to razors by justice itself. He made his Major League eating debut on this table last year, 2 pounds of rib meat in 12 minutes. He vows to smash that here today. From Groveport, Ohio, Seth Bauer.
It doesn't get any more American than a rib eating contest. All bagels that I find.
Our next contestant, ladies and gentlemen, is a hot pocket eating prodigy, a graduate of the Southeastern Institute of Microwavable Pastry Snacks, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5 pounds of bologna in 8 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, from Fort Mill, South Carolina, the great Tanner Gray. Our next contestant is the sausage-eating champion of Australia. A young man who, like me, countless moons ago, crossed that mighty Pacific to live the American dream. He flew deep discounted economy with no status benefits or credit card affiliated benefits to smooth the seas before him. No priority boarding, no exit row seating, no lounge access. In his carry-on, his dog-eared copy of Eat, Pray, Love, and in his heart, the burning desire to be the best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, 11 pounds of strawberry shortcake in 8 minutes, 131 chicken nuggets in 8 minutes last year. Give it up for Keelan! It is Keelan, ladies and gentlemen. She is an award-winning educator who for her entire life has led her considerable intellectual and emotional benefits to help teach the next generation. Like Whitney Houston, she believes that children are the future. Teach them well. Let them lead the way. But today the teacher is going to learn a valuable lesson, that absolutely none of that matters. The only measure of a human being's value in society is how many ribs they can eat in 12 minutes. Rank number 43 in the world, from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, I give you Dr. Renee Rota. Our next contestant is the #1 ranked eater from the great recreational eating state of Wisconsin. To be the top eater in Wisconsin, it takes some doing. It's like being named the most conflict-averse co-worker in Minnesota, or like being named the most unnecessarily aggressive, self-hating man in Massachusetts, or the most boring person in Connecticut. Like I said, it takes some doing. Ranked number 42 in the world, from Kenosha, Andrew Kokavich. He is a legend of competitive eating, ladies and gentlemen, an unparalleled thought leader in the gluten space. 96 chicken wings in 10 minutes, 18 brats in the same amount of time, 1.5 pounds of cheese curds in 6 minutes, 5 1/3 pounds of shrimp cocktail in 8. Ranked number 34 in the world, from Peoria, Illinois, Matthew Rabel. Our next contestant is the most sophisticated eater on the circuit. He knows which spoon to use when eating an entire jar of mayonnaise by himself. He knows which vintage of Bordeaux to pair with his canned raviolis. And he can order extra ranch in no less than 13 languages. From Paris via Salem, Oregon, world number 30, the elegant Ryan Rodacker. Elegance in human form, ladies and gentlemen. He is the #1 ranked eater in Canada, a nation I am reliably informed is located to our north. His legacy will be written by his deeds, not his words, for they trace the arc of his greatness across the northern skies. 54 ears of corn in 12 minutes, 34 1/2 hot dogs and buns in 10, 8 pounds of Minnesota wild rice hot dish in 8. World number 10, Darian Thomas. Behold his dark eminence, born of action, born of evil, born of intent. His destiny is to lay your weakness in ruin at his feet, and at this table to salt the lands of his enemies so their crops shall never grow in his shadow, ladies and gentlemen. He has dominion over all 5 food groups. He rules not with orb and scepter, but with tooth and jowl. 6 world records to his name, ladies and gentlemen. 70 donuts in 8 minutes. The #1 ranked eater in the Southern Hemisphere. Ranked number 4 in the world, the great James Webb. Then you will help me count it down in the time-honored way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! They are often racing, ladies and gentlemen. They are off and and racing. This is no sprint. This is a 12-minute all-you-can-eat buffet. It is very limited in scope, and by that I mean it is strictly limited to ribs. These are pork ribs that we are prepared in the St. Louis style. 12 minutes, as much as you can eat. James Webb is in the early stages of the contest. He's settling into what I'm going to call a dangerous rhythm. Now, dangerous rhythm sounds like a Sade album from the late period. It is not. It's not after Soldier of Love. I'm going to say that James Webb, I'm going to call him James Dangerous Rhythm Webb. He's settled into it. And that is bad news for ribs. And it's bad news for ribs. We're just a little over 1 minute down, eaters. Now, Seth Bauer at the end of the table, a study in concentration. He's trying to outthink the rib. And while thinking is an important part of competitive eating, so is eating, Seth. So let's get with the eating. Now Keelan is ripping into these. He's using a very hand-first technique. He's trying to twist the meat off the bone and into the mouth. He's experimenting with different techniques early on. It is the longest event on the Major League Eating circuit. So as he settles in, is sopping up the juice of his ribs. A very wise technique from a seasoned Major League Eating veteran returning to the table today after a 13-year absence. Meanwhile, in Paris, there are lesser athletes swimming up and down in a pool. Who cares? You're all very fast in a pool. You're not going to outrun a shark. There's no survival points when it comes to swimming really fast. Endurance swimming, I can see if you were lost at sea, there is some sort of survival metric. But being able to swim 50 meters is pointless. This is not pointless. This is the elemental battle between man and beast. Coming up to 8.5 minutes to go. This is all about settling into that rhythm for our contestants at this stage. A rhythm that they can use to push through the back half of the contest with the confidence that comes from knowing I've probably eaten about 4 pounds of ribs. These ribs are served in accordance with the teachings of Dr. Atkins. There is no carbohydrates at this table today, although if our eaters are using perhaps a Gatorade, not a Gatorade Zero, they will be consuming carbohydrates while doing so. There is also carbohydrates in Sauvignon Blanc. My doctor told me that yesterday. Marion, no. Stop and pick that up. I do not want the results of this contest to be determined by deductions for debris. These trays are big enough. We're almost at halfway, eaters. $4,000 on the line here today, ladies and gentlemen. We can see the hand speed of our contestants here today, ladies and gentlemen. The hand speed of a DJ in the DJ booth who is perhaps pretending to spin discs but is really just playing off an iPhone playlist. Hey, we're under halfway, 5 minutes and 42 seconds to go, eaters. If you needed to go, we're not turning around now. You should have gone before we left the house. Renee Rovkar, using her doctorate in education here today, she is learning a lesson about ribs and learning a lesson about the human spirit. As all of our contestants are learning today, they are going on a journey of self-discovery in which they will not only learn how many ribs they can eat in 12 minutes, but their capacity to forge ever forward. Ryan Rodak with a very smart usage of beverage there, but not getting the beverage juice into the tray, which would count negatively in his weight total. There are no white flags here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Great Midwest Rib Fest. As we approach the 8-minute mark, our eaters, you can see the human struggle apparent in every compression of the jaw, every new tray of glory being presented unto them, every new opportunity to prove themselves rib-worthy, rib-tastic. Our eaters are giving 1,110% effort. Keelan is eating very clean, I've noticed that here today. Less than 3.5 minutes to go, eaters. As I delicately pace behind the eaters, trying not to get covered in any number of ingredients. Shrapnel. $2,000 to the winner, but more importantly, the glory of the belt, ladies and gentlemen. The glory of the belt. Under 3 minutes to go, eaters. We can see once again the mighty St. Louis style rib, crushing the proud, ladies and gentlemen, and elevating the humble. Those who are willing to humble themselves before the rib are anointed with a level of knowledge and grace hitherto seen unknown in all the lands. If you accept the rib is more mightier than you, only then shall you have a chance to prevail. To go! That's 10 minutes down! This is the moment in the contest where the eaters are thinking to themselves, Sam, why? Why is this not a 10-minute eating contest? Why do I have to keep eating all these ribs? Andrew Kokavich is nodding in agreement. While he eats more ribs, he doesn't have to eat the ribs. But he does! Because he is an American hero! And he is a beacon to a greater and brighter tomorrow for all who stand in this great republic. but they are all champions. Under 90 seconds to go. This is like mile 22 of the marathon, which is an Olympic event which I hate. The mind says no. The body says no. Friends and family say please, for the love of God, no. But it's the human will. It's the drive to be the... Wait 1 minute! Make some noise! Make some noise! Seconds, eaters! 40 seconds to the end! 40 seconds to not having to eat ribs! Make these moments count! 30 seconds! The more noise you make, the more they will eat! Get ready to help me count it down, Mystic Lake! Help me count it down in the time-honored tradition! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put down your ribs. Go.